Okay, I think we can start now. So we are under the topic life process. We are done with nutrition, that includes photosynthesis and digestion process plus respiration process, right? So these two, digestion and respiration, are going to come in your first topic wise test, right? And today we are going to start with transportation, another life process that is necessary for our survival. And today we are going to see transport in plants first, and then later on we are going to start with transportation in animals, which include circulatory system. So plants first. Okay. So image को बच्चा देख के कुछ थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया तो पता होगा. Name the tissue that is responsible for transportation of food and water in plants. Can anyone tell me? Vascular bundle, xylem, phloem. Yes, very good. Yes, absolutely correct. So xylem is the one that transport water and minerals within the plant. And phloem is the one that transport food within the plant. Okay. So yes, xylem and phloem. And it is categorized under which category of tissue? Is it a simple tissue or is it a complex tissue? Yes, complex tissue. Because both xylem and phloem, they are made up of different types of cells. But they all together perform a particular function. That is why they are categorized under complex tissue. Yes. So xylem and phloem, mainly these two tissues are responsible for the transportation of water and minerals and food within the plants. And they together form the vascular bundle. Yes. So let us start. First of all, you should know that plant physiology, whenever someone talks about physiology, then that word actually means we are talking about functional aspect within an organism. Okay, so if I'm talking about plant physiology, I'm talking about that particular branch of botany which deals with the study of life activities of plant. So plant physiology, it is the branch of botany that deals with the study of life activities or whatever functioning is happening within the plant. So under this particular category, plant physiology, we study about transport of food and water within the plant. Now बच्चा water, ये basic चीज है, ये already आप लोग को पता है. The water, it is absorbed by roots of the plant from the soil, and after once the water has already been absorbed by the roots, it will move upward to all the parts of the plants, right? And in the case of food, it is actually synthesized in the leaves. In majority of cases, you can say it is synthesized in the leaves with the process of photosynthesis. And from the leaves, that particular food that has been formed in the leaves, it has to move to different parts of the plant. Is it? Hold on. Is it fine now, my voice? Is this one better? Okay. So in the case of water, it is absorbed by the roots from the plant of the plants from the soil. And if I talk about food, it is synthesized in the leaves by the process of photosynthesis. And then from the leaves, it has to be transported to all different parts of the plant, whether it is a branch, whether it is another leaves or something, whether it is downward part that includes the roots and everything. Okay, so if I have to talk about the direction of movement in the case of water as well as food, so direction of movement of water will be from downward to upward, from roots to the upper parts of the plant, right? So this type of movement is known as unidirectional, because there is only one way flow. Yes, only one way flow is involved. But in the case of food food transportation, in that case, it will be bidirectional, or you can say multidirectional. Actually, it is multidirectional because a leaf can be present in between anywhere in the plant body, right? So the food has to move up to the upper parts, to the sideward parts, to the downward parts, everywhere. So it can be multidirectional, but it is considered as bidirectional because only two-way direction is considered in the case of movement of food. That is upward direction and lower direction, downward direction. So roots are on the lower side and other branches and water is transported through xylem and food is transported through phloem. And both these tissues form the vascular bundle in the plants. Bacha, please wait. Is it okay now? Okay. So let us start with, let us just revise a bit about xylem and phloem, both the vascular tissue first, and then we will proceed how actually the transport in the plants takes place. Previous slide, here it is. You don't have to note down or you don't have to note down particular sentence as it is. Just note down the important words that food transported by phloem and the direction of flow is bidirectional. So just note down important words, that's it. So let us talk about xylem tissue first, and then we will proceed with the actual transportation part. Okay. So xylem. Xylem is the main water and mineral conducting tissue in the plants, and it is a complex tissue because it consists of 4 types of cells. The very first one is trachea, second one is vessel, third one is xylem parenchyma, and the fourth one is xylem sclerenchyma. So it is tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem sclerenchyma, which is also known as fibers. So, bacha, in the case of tracheids, if you can look at the image as well, these are elongated dead cell. They have large cavities in the central region, and the walls are thickened. Lignified walls होती हैं. Thick lignified walls means there is deposition of lignin in the walls of these tracheids, and because of this thick lignification, these cells actually become dead. Okay, but they have pits. They have pits. If you can see in this particular diagram, see these here pits. Actually, pits are responsible, or these are, you can say, narrow. These are narrow gates in the walls that is allowing the movement of water within this tracheid cells. So they have pits in it. ये small pores जो आपको दिख रहे हैं, these all are pits that helps in the transport of water from one tracheid to another tracheid cell. Okay, and यस बच्चा, सीव प्लेट्स में क्या होता है, वी विल स्टडी सीव प्लेट्स में परफोरेशन होती है, एक पर्टिकुलर पूरा प्लेट होता है, एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेट इज परफोरेटेड, इट हैज पोर्स. बट सी इसके अंदर क्या है, पिट्स होती हैं. पिट्स आर नैरो ओपनिंग्स. यहाँ पे नैरो ओपनिंग्स, कट लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स होंगे जिसके थ्रू वाटर फ्लो कर सकता है. A little bit different structure than what you have in sieve, but the purpose is same. वहां पे sieve plates भी allow करती हैं food translocation को, and here these pits are allowing the movement of water. So tracheids are elongated dead cell. They have large cavities, or you can say large lumen, and they have thick lignified walls and have pits. The vessels, again, elongated dead cell, but they are wider than tracheids. You can see in the diagram, the diameter is much wider than tracheids, and they form a pipe-like structure. Vessels के जो एक single cells होते हैं उनको vessel elements बोलते हैं. So these vessel elements, they are piled up or aligned one above the other, and they form a pipe-like structure that actually helps in the water of in the movement of water. Okay, Sharma, we have just started with the tissue only, the vascular bundle. We have started with transport in plants, and we have started with vascular bundle tissue. Okay, so these vessels, they have perforations. Perforations means pores present होंगे, if you can see in the image as well. So they have perforation at the end walls. End walls means at the end of a particular vessel element or a particular vessel cell, उसके end पे perforations present होंगी, that allows again the movement of water from one vessel member to the another vessel member. And these vessel members or the vessel elements, whatever you can say, these all are placed end to end, that forms a pipe-like structure to allow water movement. But the pits ka structure is somewhat different than what we have in vessel perforations. So histology अगर आप देखोगे ना, तो that would be different, structure different है, but the purpose is same. The purpose is same. Narrow spaces and narrow pores हैं that are allowing the movement of water. So water conduction में help कर रहे हैं. The purpose is same, but the structure is different. That is why they have given different names. So वो structure कैसा होता है वो, that is not in your syllabus right now. Okay. Now, tracheids, vessels, both are dead, just like sclerenchyma. Xylem is sclerenchyma, the fourth one that I have written. This is also dead, but only xylem parenchyma is living. So out of 4 cells that makes xylem tissue, 3 are dead, only one is living, and that is xylem parenchyma. So parenchyma, if you talk about simple parenchymatous tissue, it is a simple tissue and it has a function of storage within the plants. So parenchyma का function यहाँ पे भी है storage का. It is a storing tissue. No, so it is a storing tissue and it is just storing food, and it is a living tissue, living cell. It is the living part of the xylem tissue. Then what will be the function of xylem sclerenchyma? बच्चा it is completely dead. Sclerenchymatous tissue की किसी भी plant में कहीं पे भी बात आएगी तो sclerenchymatous tissue is a dead tissue within the plant, and it has a sole function to provide strength to the plant. The sclerenchymatous tissue, these are also highly lignified cells, and they provide strength to the plant. Yes, they are there to provide strength to the plant. So if you can see this green diagram, it has all the cells that makes the xylem tissue. So here we have xylem parenchyma. इसका function क्या होगा? This is the only living tissue and its function is to store food. This broader cell you can see in the mid part, it is vessel. Okay, it is vessel. Just adjacent to this vessel, the tracheids are present. These are narrow elongated cells. The vessels are much wider than these tracheids and they have perforation at the end walls. These are the perforations. And बीच बीच में बच्चा ये xylem fibers होंगे that will provide strength to this particular tissue within the plant. So 4 types of cells: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem sclerenchyma. They make the tissue xylem. In among these 4, 3 are dead, means tracheid, vessels, and xylem sclerenchymatous tissue is dead. These all 3 are dead. Only xylem parenchyma is living. Okay. बच्चा मॉड्यूल से रिलेटेड होगा तो इट विल कम इन द टॉपिक वाइज टेस्ट. प्लस साइकिल से रिलेटेड भी कुछ चीजें आ सकती हैं बिकॉज इट इज इन योर सिलेबस. एनटीएससी में पूछते हैं. बच्चा वेस्कुलर बंडल्स के अंदर क्लोरोप्लास्ट नहीं प्रेजेंट होगा. मीजोफिल टिश्यू में प्रेजेंट होता है. जाइलम एंड फ्लोएम के अंदर क्लोरोप्लास्ट प्रेजेंट नहीं होता. इट्स सोल पर्पस इज द कंडक्शन ऑफ फूड, not the synthesis of food. Okay, so this was a brief idea about the xylem tissue. Now let us proceed towards phloem. I'm just revising all this. थोड़ा सा idea आपको दे रही हूँ, brief idea. You have already studied all these points in earlier classes. थोड़ा सा revise करवा रही हूँ so that किसी को भूल गया so they will remember. So phloem, it is the food conducting tissue. The main function of xylem was to conduct water and minerals. Yes, bacha, mesophyll cells present in parenchyma, but mesophyll cells in particular present in leaves. Mesophyll cells are particularly present in leaves. So parenchymatous tissue अलग-अलग type हो सकता है. If the chloroplast is present in parenchyma, it is known as chlorenchyma. So that particular parenchyma is going to make food within the plants. Other type of parenchymatous tissue can be Parenchyma can be called as aerenchyma, where it will be storing air inside it and providing buoyancy to the plant. It can be called, अच्छा यहाँ पर पैरेनकाइमेटस टिश्यू का मेन पर्पस है फूड स्टोर करके फंक्शनैलिटी प्रोवाइड करना. So it is a simple parenchymatous tissue that is storing material. It has not given any particular name. It is known as xylem parenchyma because it is present within the xylem tissue and it is doing the function of storage of food. Okay. Now, just like xylem that was conducting water and mineral, phloem is a tissue that will going to conduct food within the plant. It is also a complex tissue and it consists of 4 types of cells again. Sieve tube is the first cell that is present within this phloem tissue. The another one is companion cells. The third one is phloem parenchyma and the fourth one is phloem sclerenchyma. So phloem parenchyma and phloem sclerenchyma are same, just like xylem parenchyma and xylem sclerenchyma. The functions are same. Okay. Sclerenchyma strength provide करेगा, parenchyma storage के लिए. The purpose or the histology of sieve tube and companion cells are different. Now sieve tube, or you can also say sieve cells. Actually क्या होता है बच्चा, there are 5 categories of plants. The plants are divided into 5 division. 9th class में आपने पढ़ा होगा diversity में. Algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperms and angiosperms. तो ये water conducting tissue और the fruit conducting tissue ये algae, bryophytes में present नहीं था. Those are old, you can say evolved नहीं हुए हैं वो plants. Old types of plants हैं. So आगे आगे जैसे जैसे plants का evolution advance होता गया, these conducting tissue they have been formed within the plants. So bryophytes and algae, these are very small plants. These are not very much long in the length if you see it. तो उनको बहुत ज्यादा water conducting tissue की जरूरत नहीं है. Yes, pteridophytes में food conducting tissue as well as water conducting tissue आ जाता है, but वो higher pteridophytes में present है. और उसमें से भी कुछ सेल्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, कंप्लीट जाइलम एंड फ्लोएम प्रेजेंट नहीं होता है. Enucleated means the nucleus is absent. It lacks nucleus. Okay. So these water conducting tissues mainly present in gymnosperms and angiosperms. टेरिडोफाइट्स में बनना स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं. जिम्नोस्पर्म्स में कुछ पर्टिकुलर एडवांस में कंप्लीट जाइलम एंड फ्लोएम मिल जाता है, एंड एंजियोस्पर्म्स हैव टोटली कंप्लीट जाइलम एंड फ्लोएम. नो बच्चा, मैं बता रही हूँ, कंपेनियन सेल्स आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ, पैरेनकाइमेटस नहीं है वो. आई एम टेलिंग यू. So, bacha, the phloem, it is made up of 4 types of cells. The very first one is sieve tube, also known as sieve cells. So, gymnosperms में actually sieve cells ही present होते हैं. Angiosperms में वो cells connect होके long हो जाते हैं and they form tubes. So, किसी किसी books में sieve cells भी लिखा हो सकता है, sieve tube भी लिखा हो सकता है, one and same thing. Okay. So, sieve tubes, these are living cells, but they lack nucleus. They are enucleated cells. They lack nucleus. They don't have nucleus in it. What happens? Actually, the sieve tube and the companion cells, bacha, these are formed from a single mother cell. Let's say this is a cell. It has a nucleus. अब डिवीजन जो हुआ बच्चा, वो डिवीजन हुआ ऐसे. So this cell has formed sieve tube, and this particular cell has been formed. This one has formed companion cell. So companion cells has a nucleus, but uska jo sister cell tha, that is sieve tube, it doesn't have nucleus. इन दोनों को sister cells भी बोलते हैं because they are formed from single mother cell and they share the nucleus. Yes. How? The companion cells have nucleus, and the nucleus of companion cell is going to regulate all the functions of the sieve tube. So even if sieve tube doesn't have nucleus, it lacks nucleus, but it is living because all the functions of the sieve tubes has been regulated by the companion cell nucleus. Okay. So sieve tube, it is a living cell. It lack nucleus, also known as enucleated cell. Enucleated means it doesn't have any nucleus. And at the end of the plate-like structure present. But it is known as mother cell only. The sieve tube mother cell or the companion cell mother cell. It must be a single meristematic cell that has been given a particular function to become permanent and to form sieve tube and companion cell. What happens in plant? मेरिस्टेमेटिक सेल्स ही होते हैं ना स्टार्टिंग में तो. Okay. So sieve tubes and companion cells, these cells are formed from mother cells, single mother cell. Now sieve tubes have a plate-like structure with the perforation or the pores that is present between two sieve tube element or two sieve tube cells that will allow the transportation of food from one sieve tube cell to another. So if you can see in the image, bacha, here the sieve plate is present. This is a particular sieve cell. It doesn't have any nucleus, right? And at the end, this perforation or the perforated plate is present, known as sieve plate. Companion cells is narrow elongated cell, again a living cell, and it lies just adjacent to the sieve tube, and it regulates the activity of sieve tube cell. So that is how, even if the nucleus is not present within the sieve tube cell, the sieve tube cells are considered to be living. Okay. So as you can see in this image, bacha, Tanmay, it is considered living because it doesn't have any nucleus, but its function is being regulated by the companion cell. Companion cells are actually acting as companion of the sieve tube cell. They're acting as a friend, and both of them are going to share the nucleus among themselves. So the nucleus of companion cell is going to regulate the function of the sieve tube cell. So the function of xylem parenchyma and xylem sclerenchyma will remain same. The xylem parenchyma is going to store the food, and phloem sclerenchyma will provide strength to the whole tissue. So as you can see in the image, this one is sieve tube. It doesn't have any nucleus, and at the end of the sieve tube, the perforated plate is present. And just adjacent to the sieve tube is companion cells are present. It has a nucleus. And this nucleus of companion cell is going to regulate the function of the sieve tube cell. And बीच में here, these tracheids, phloem sclerenchyma will be present. That is going to provide strength to the whole tissue. And phloem parenchyma will be present. That is going to store the food for the whole tissue. So these are two types of complex tissues that are present within the plants, and both of them are going to make the vascular bundle within the plants. Okay. So this was a brief idea about xylem and phloem, the conducting tissue within the plants. Is this much part clear, everyone? Clear. Okay. Now let us proceed and let us start with the water conduction within the plants first. Then we will talk about the food conduction within the plant. So first we are going to talk about the water conduction. So water conduction in plants, bacha, the water is actually absorbed by roots within the plant, right? So roots soil के through water absorb करते हैं, and then water it transport within the root. पहले horizontally transfer होता है बच्चा. root के अंदर root hairs present होते हैं. Root hairs water को absorb करते हैं, then horizontally जो water है it reaches in the middle part or the central part of the root. And once it has reached the central part of the root, that is where the xylem is present. After that, the water will start moving to all the upper parts of the plant, right? So पहले water को कहाँ transfer करना है? Water has to be transported from the roots of the hair of the roots. Root hairs भी बोलते हैं उनको, right? Root hairs से start करना है, and then the water has to reach the central part where the xylem is located. तो पहले horizontally water transport होगा, and then उसका vertical transport होगा. So when the water is moving horizontally within the plant, बच्चा वो मैं बता रही हूँ, how will it reach to the central part? So pathway of water within the roots. Root के अंदर actually कैसे transport हो रहा है water, and root hair से how is it reaching to the xylem part? That we need to see. So transpirational pull, Nishant, it will help in the upward movement of the water. Ultimately, transpiration pull will affect the horizontal movement as well. But पहले हमें pathway देखना है कि what all barriers actually water crosses during its horizontal pathway or horizontal transfer of water molecules within the root, and then we will talk about the transpirational pull. Okay, so बच्चा pathway of water within the root, it can be of two types: apoplastic pathway and symplastic pathway. Apoplastic pathway and the symplastic pathway. So as you can see in the image, symplastic pathway, this is the root here. ठीक है, ये very first tissue जो यहाँ पे present है, ये line, it is epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost part of the plant. Previous slide. जल्दी से complete करो बच्चा. Please do it very quick. Of course, Disham, phloem tissue is connected with it, but उसके बाकी tissues को, बाकी cells को भी तो tissue food चाहिए होगा ना. The root, it is not only made up of you can say phloem part only. It has many other cells also. So उन सबको भी तो food चाहिए होगा. They all will need food. बच्चा डायग्राम बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है. आई एम टेलिंग यू कि कौन कौन से पाथवे को वो क्रॉस करता है. दैट यू नीड टू मेंशन. यस, आई विल सेंड द पीडीएफ एज वेल, डोंट वरी. So apoplastic and symplastic pathway. So apoplastic pathway बच्चा, as you can see in the image, apoplastic pathway में क्या हो रहा है बच्चा? The water, it is moving, but it is moving from the outer side of the cells. दिख रहा है? बाहर बाहर से सेल्स के जा रहा है, मीन्स वो सेल वॉल के थ्रू जा सकता है. बच्चा डायग्राम इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. Although I think this diagram will be important for ICSE students. I think ICSE students के book में है ये. So if any one of you is following ICSE school, उनके book में it is there. CBSE में I think नहीं होगा. So apoplastic pathway में बच्चे क्या होगा? Water, it will move from the outer side of the plant cells. Okay, मतलब वो सेल को क्रॉस नहीं कर रहा है. It is not crossing. The water is moving within the plant, but वो extra cellular space से move कर रहा है. Extra cellular spaces means the spaces that are present outside of the plant, right? So in the case of apoplastic pathway, the water will not going to cross any membrane. The water, it will not going to cross any membrane because the water is going to move from the outer boundaries of the cells. Extracellular spaces ke through it is moving. But in the case of Simplast pathway, yes, the water is going to cross all the boundaries of the cells. तो वो सेल के अंदर, मतलब the movement will be from one cell to another cell. तो मेन डिफरेंस समझ में आ गया. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एपोप्लास्ट एंड सिम्प्लास्ट पाथवे का. द एपोप्लास्ट पाथवे विल not include any cell membrane because the water is going to move from the extracellular spaces. बच्चा रूट के थ्रू ही एब्जॉर्ब होगा, बट रूट के सेल वॉल पे ही रहेगा, वो अंदर बाउंड्री क्रॉस नहीं करेगा. So in the case of apoplastic pathway, the water is going to move from the extracellular spaces. But in the case of Simplast pathway, the movement will be from one cell to another. So question आ सकता है, in which kind of pathway the water has to cross a living membrane? Your answer will be? Your answer will be? Come on. Simplast, yes, the Simplast pathway. Okay, so first of all, we have seen the difference between apoplast pathway and Simplast pathway. Now, let us see what all boundaries the water has to cross to reach xylem. So, जब वो root के through travel करेगा water, it has to cross a lot of layers within the root. Let us see all these. First of all, the water is going to get absorbed through the root hairs. Root hairs are unicellular hair, unicellular structure. Please remember this. It is not multicellular. The root hairs, it is always going to all the root hairs are always going to be unicellular. Single cell के बने होते हैं वो. Unicellular root hairs. And these unicellular root hairs, they arise from the epidermal layer. Epidermal layer or the epidermis is the outermost layer within the plant. Okay. So this epidermal cells that are present in the epidermis, one of the cells elongate and it give rise to unicellular root hairs. Okay. So first layer the plant that has to cross is epidermis. Root hair से start होगा, then epidermis, then बच्चा epidermis के बाद there are many layers of cells present known as cortex. बच्चा नो सिम्प्लास्टिक पाथवे में तो वो मेम्ब्रेन सेल टू सेल ही जाएगा, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज सिम्प्लास्ट पाथवे, एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर नहीं जाएगा. देखो अभी एक जगह पे एक पाथवे में चेंज आएगा, क्यों आएगा कैसे आएगा, आई एम गोइंग टू टेल. ओके आई टेल यू. देखो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एपिडर्मिस इज द आउटरमोस्ट लेयर. आफ्टर रूट हेयर्स एपिडर्मल लेयर क्रॉस करेंगे, देन ऑल द सेल्स दैट आर प्रेजेंट after the epidermis are known as cortex layer. Okay, so after epidermis the water has to cross this cortical layer or the cortex tissue. Now after cortex tissue there are two layers present. The first layer is endodermis, if you can see जिसमें broad cells हैं, this layer is endodermis. And after endodermis, a thin layer of cells is present known as pericycle. So root hairs, then epidermis, then cortex, then endodermis, and then pericycle. And after this pericycle, the xylem and phloem tissue is present. So phloem tissue is present towards the outer side. This is the phloem tissue, and this whole tissue is xylem part. After pericycle, the water will directly move to the xylem tissue. So sequence पहले समझ में आ गया, कहाँ कुछ changes आ रहे हैं, I will tell you. So first of all, difference between apoplast and symplast. Apoplast में the water will move through extracellular spaces or the cell wall, you can say, because it is dead. It is not living. And in the case of symplast pathway, the movement will be cell to cell. Here the living membrane, that is cell membrane, is going to get involved. Sequence क्या है? Root hairs, then epidermis, then the cortical cells will come, then the endodermis layer will come. After the endodermis, there is going to be a layer of pericycle and then xylem tissue. देखो ये वाला डायग्राम देखो. This one is more clear. Epidermis तन में how? Yes बच्चा, outside means epidermis तो दोनों में involved है ना. एपिडर्मिस का अगर सेल का क्रॉस करेगा, वो डायरेक्टली एपिडर्मिस के सेल के बीच में से एंटर करेगा. इट इज गोइंग टू एंटर द एपिडर्मल सेल फर्स्ट एंड देन अगेन इट विल क्रॉस अनदर बाउंड्री टू गेट आउट ऑफ द एपिडर्मल सेल. देन दैट पर्टिकुलर पाथवे विल बी symplastic pathway. But in the case of apoplastic pathway, this the water, it will move from the outer walls of the epidermis. Okay, so उसमें living membrane कोई cross नहीं करेगा water. So that is the main difference. Casparian strip क्या है? I'm going to tell you. Please listen to me now. अब देखो, the water it is previous slide. जल्दी से note करो बच्चा. Bacha, I am going to tell you everything, Sharva. Let me come to that point. Sub layers, everything I will discuss. Apoplast, yes, bacha. Apoplast directly move करता है from the outer layer of the cell wall. So if you can see in this diagram, see what is given here. The water is entering from here, from the left side, right? The first layer it has to cross is epidermal layer. Okay, so epidermis में the pink one is cell membrane or the plasma membrane, the pink bound, और जो बाहर blue part है, sky blue part, that is actually the cell wall. So water when it is moving through the blue part only, this blue part. Then this pathway is apoplastic pathway, where the water is not actually crossing any living membrane, because cell wall is not living, it is dead. But in the case of symplastic pathway, the water is going to cross the cells of each and every layer. So that is why it is known as symplastic pathway, where the membrane is going to get involved. So first of all, the water is going to cross the epidermal layer. Now in the case of cell wall, अगर outer side से move कर रहा है तो वो extracellular spaces से निकल जाएगा. But अगर उसे symplastic pathway में cell to cell cross करना है, so there are plasmodesmata connections that are present between two cells. Plasmodesmata क्या होते हैं बच्चे? These are narrow spaces that are present in the walls of the plant cells. वही again gates का काम कर रहे हैं, that are allowing the movement of water or any other substances from one cell to another. Okay, so through this plasmodesmatal connection, yes, they are required for intercellular exchange of material. बच्चा दो पाथवे क्यों है वो सब कुछ मैं बता रही हूँ. लेट मी डिस्कस द होल स्लाइड फर्स्ट, द होल डायग्राम फर्स्ट. सब डाउट्स आपके क्लियर हो जाएंगे. नाउ अब वाटर दो तरह से मूव क्यों करता है बच्चा? वाटर को नहीं पता कि मुझे कहां से कहां मूव करना है, उसे जहां स्पेस मिलेगी इट विल मूव, इट विल मूव, राइट. तो जो जहां पे सेल मेम्ब्रेन को क्रॉस नहीं कर रहा है उसको उन्होंने अलग नाम दे दिया, that is considered apoplast pathway. जहां it is crossing a particular membrane, that has been given a particular name known as symplastic pathway. Now what is going to happen बच्चा? cortical layer भी क्रॉस करेगा and then the endodermis layer will come. अब endodermis layer में बच्चा there are Casparian strips that are present. अब Casparian strips का काम क्या होता है? These strips are present in the endodermis. अब plants ने ये Casparian strips deliberately develop किए हैं अपने endodermis layer में. Why? Because let's say जो water move करेगा बच्चा cell to cell, that is going to cross a particular membrane, वहां पर the membrane can select कि water के में जितने भी चीजें जो mixed हैं, it should actually move to another cell or it should not move to another cell, because there is a living membrane that is present there जो select कर सकता है. It is selectively permeable membrane. But the water that is moving through the outer parts of the wall layers or the extracellular spaces, उस water में जो भी मिला होगा, whatever mixed in that particular water, that will enter the xylem tissue अगर उसे बीच में कोई रोकेगा नहीं. So these Casparian strips, they are actually doing the function of watchman. They are stopping the water here. The water will not cross this Casparian strip. ठीक है, वो उसको completely वहां पे रोक देंगे. They are actually made up of a material known as suberin. वो water को आगे move नहीं करने देता. So Casparian strips, they won't allow the water to move further. Now at this particular stage, in the endodermis stage, in the endodermal layer, it is just hold on. Is it okay now? So बच्चा at the yes बच्चा endodermis layer तो root में present ही है ना, whether it is apoplastic pathway or symplastic pathway. Actually it is present in the walls of the cell wall of the endodermis cell. So यहाँ पे at this particular point endodermis layer में जो water apoplastic pathway से move कर रहा था, that will now take the symplastic pathway. अब उस water को भी symplastic pathway लेना पड़ेगा. So it has to cross this particular cell membrane from here. And now the cell membrane can permit particular water molecules to move further, और जो रोकना होगा वो उसे रोक सकता है. Okay. What are you asking, everyone? Just hold on. Oh, water, yes, the Casparian strips, these are made up of a particular substance. Not sovereign, बच्चा, lignin. सुब्रिन भी हो सकता है किसी किसी केस में, बट मोनली लिग्निन होता है. तो लिग्निन एंड सुब्रिन अगर कुछ भी आता है, सो यू कैन एक ही आएगा मोस्टली, दोनों चीजें नहीं दी होंगी अगर उसका सिंथेसिस पूछा होगा. बच्चा फूड का ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट. वो कैसे होता है ट्रांसपोर्ट वो मैं बताऊंगी. वो रूट्स के थ्रू थोड़ी ना होगा, राइट? So, बच्चा, Casparian strips, they will block the pathway of apoplast. Apoplastic water का जो pathway होगा, it will get blocked by these Casparian strips, and they are made up of lignin. Please, lignin and sometimes suberin. So these lignin and suberin both are actually they are hydrophobic material. Hydrophobic means water को आगे move नहीं करने देंगे. Water hating. So at this particular point, the apoplastic pathway will also become symplastic pathway. Okay. Now the water will move into the pericycle, another layer, and from the pericycle it will enter into the xylem. Now, बच्चा, you were asking about endodermis layer का significance क्या है? Endodermis layer का यही significance है that it has Casparian strip present. So जो भी water अभी तक extracellular spaces से enter हो रहा था plus जो cell wall से enter हो रहा था, now it will have to cross the cell membrane so that कुछ भी जो unwanted है plant के अंदर वो directly xylem में ना पहुंचे. Okay. And what is the significance of pericycle now? बच्चा, pericycle, if I take you to the previous slide, it is the outermost layer of steel. Steel कौन सा part होता है? Steel is the central part of the plant, जिसके अंदर क्या क्या प्रेजेंट होता है? वेस्कुलर बंडल्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, कुछ टिश्यू प्रेजेंट होता है, पैरेनकाइमेटस टिश्यू जो बाकी स्पेसेस फिल करता है. तो उसका आउटर मोस्ट लेयर है पेरिसाइकिल. एंड पेरिसाइकिल इज द लेयर जो सेकेंडरी लेटरल रूट्स बनाता है. व्हाट आर लेटरल रूट्स? कैन एनीवन टेल मी व्हाट आर लेटरल रूट्स? अच्छा देखो, ये ऐसे अगर एक रूट है, दिस इज द प्राइमरी रूट. ओके, जो मेन रूट होती है, यस, मेन रूट होती है, और उसके जो ब्रांचेस होते हैं, दीज आर नोन एज सेकेंडरी रूट और द लेटरल रूट्स. So, बच्चा, these lateral root, it actually arises from pericycle. The branches of the roots. So, pericycle का function है that it will rise, that will give rise to lateral roots of the plant. Okay, so this is the significance or the importance of pericycle. And pericycle makes the outermost layer of steel, बच्चा. It is, let me write it down for you. Steel. Steel means the central part. जो सेंट्रल पार्ट होता है, इसके अंदर सेंट्रल पार्ट के अंदर वेस्कुलर बंडल्स प्रेजेंट होंगे, प्लस कुछ पैरेनकाइमेटस टिश्यू भी प्रेजेंट होगा. सो जाइलम एंड फ्लोएम के आउटसाइड, जस्ट आउटसाइड एक लेयर प्रेजेंट होती है, दैट इज नोन एज पेरिसाइकिल. ओके. So that is how the water will move within the plant horizontally. Means अभी सिर्फ water को कहाँ तक पहुंचना है? It has to reach the central conducting part of the root, xylem तक. So xylem तक पहुंचना तो it can be of two ways. It can be in two ways, apoplastic way or the symplastic way. Now if the question arises, which flow of water is faster? What will be your answer? The apoplastic way will be the faster one or the symplastic way? Apoplastic or the symplastic? जिसने apoplastic बोला है रीजन दो, और जिसने symplastic बोला है वो भी रीजन दो. Give me reason. Why do you think the apoplastic will be faster, or why do you think the symplastic will be faster? Okay, Snehal, good enough. एपोप्लास्टिक वालों ने रीजन दे दिया, सिम्प्लास्टिक वालों का रीजन क्या है? No, Daksha. Yes, the correct answer is apoplastic pathway. Apoplastic pathway will be much faster because then they don't have to cross any membrane. The cell wall is just lying there. It is dead. उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, कुछ भी आए कुछ भी जाए. So water will just move and move and move. But in the case of symplastic pathway, to cross one single cell, the water has to cross two membranes. The first one, when the water is going to enter the cell, and the second membrane, when the water is again going to move out of the cell. So that will take much time as compared to, of course, apoplastic pathway. So apoplastic pathway will be much faster because in that case, no membrane has to be crossed. Yes. Okay. So this was the horizontal pathway of water movement within the root. अभी वो xylem तक पहुंच गया. The water has reached xylem. Now हमें देखना है कि बच्चा आगे xylem से कौन कौन से फोर्स एक्ट करते हैं, या अभी तक भी वाटर को जो पुल किया था वो पुलिंग फोर्स कौन कौन से that are actually allowing the water to move further and further. So इसके basis पे for the water movement there are many theories that has been given. The very first one is root pressure theory. Root pressure theory. Root pressure theory बच्चा हर प्लांट में नहीं काम करेगी. बट ये जनरली किसमें काम करेगी? श्रब्स और हर्ब्स वगैरह में, मतलब जो हाइटेड प्लांट नहीं है ज्यादा. इट विल वर्क इन दोस प्लांट्स. ओके. So this root pressure theory, it was proposed by Priestley. The scientist that proposed this root pressure theory, it was Priestley. So as you can see, I've written there, the water is absorbed by the root hairs and it got collected in the cortex layer. Right? Cortex is the part that is lying outside, lying inner to the epidermis and outer to the endodermis. So water जैसे एक बार start to absorb hona through root hairs? Yes, Sham, I'm going to come to that point. So this water, it will be absorbed by the root hairs and it gets collected in the cortex. But the water का absorbed होना through root hairs, will it is it a कौन से process के through होता है? ये तो सबको पता होना चाहिए. Osmosis के through. Yes, osmosis होगा. Diffusion is osmosis is a type of diffusion only. But यहाँ पे cell membrane cross करेगा ना वो root hair का. So that is why it is known as osmosis, right? So once the water has been absorbed by the root hairs through the process of osmosis, it will again then collect into the cortical layer. Started to get collect into cortical layer. Now cortical cells, they become fully turgid. Everyone tell me, do you know the meaning of turgidity? Turgid. What is the meaning of turgid? Otherwise ये चीज समझ में नहीं आएगी. Turgid means, yes, full, fluid filled. Yes, turgid means full, filled होगा कुछ. You can imagine it that इसको ऐसे imagine कर सकते हो. Let me think of something. A balloon. Yes, a balloon. एक balloon देते हो, water balloon, उसके अंदर water fill करते हो. It takes a particular shape, right? So that condition is turgid condition. But when the water it comes out of the balloon, अगर एक बार उसमें से water निकाल देते हो, it become flaccid. So that is flaccid condition. Turgid condition when the balloon it is filled with water. Yes. So bacha, when the water they start collecting in the cortical cells, these cortical cells they become fully turgid. तो एक बार fully turgid हो जाएंगे, then this water molecule they will start exerting pressure on the fluid content of the cortical cells. और एक बार जब pressure लगना start होगा, then this pressure or this force, it will force this pressure, it will force the water content or the fluid content of the cortical cell to move towards xylem vessel. तो वही हो रहा है बच्चा, वाटर फिल होता जा रहा है और पीछे से धक्का लगता रहता है. तो धक्का लगेगा अगर पीछे से, तो आगे वाटर मूव करता रहेगा. दिस इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. द रूट इट इज एब्सॉर्बिंग द वाटर कंटिन्यूअसली एंड पीछे से अगर कुछ लेट अस ऑल इमेजिन अ रूम. उसमें टू वेज है, एक पीछे का दरवाजा, एक आगे का डोर है. तो अगर पीछे के डोर से बच्चा बार बार आप लोगों को एंट्री दे रहे हो, तो अल्टीमेटली क्या होगा, धक्का लगेगा, राइट? और आगे वाले डोर से फिर लोग निकलना स्टार्ट होंगे. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. बच्चा क्योंकि रूट प्रेशर थ्योरी जो है, ये इतना फोर्स ना जो पीछे से धक्का लग रहा है और आगे जा रहा है, ये बस कुछ ही हाइटेड प्लांट तक मूव करवा सकता है वाटर को. बट अगर बहुत ज्यादा टॉल प्लांट्स होंगे, तो उन टॉल प्लांट्स में, हाइटेड प्लांट्स में, दिस स्मॉल फोर्स वोंट वर्क. So that is why it is not applicable to tall plants. Tall plants में transpirational pull work करेगा. Of course, root pressure वहाँ पे force लगाएगा, but that pressure won't be enough to move water to the uppermost part of the plant. Okay. Now, due to this loss of water, एक सेल अगर खाली हो गया, तो उससे क्या होगा, अगेन कॉर्टिकल सेल्स क्या हो जाएंगे, फ्लैसिड हो जाएंगे. बिकॉज अभी क्या हो गया, उस पर्टिकुलर सेल से वाटर आगे मूव कर गया. देन अगेन वो पर्टिकुलर सेल फिर से वाटर एब्सॉर्ब करेगा और टर्जिड हो जाएगा, एंड देन अगेन फोर्स करेगा. yes, turgor pressure is involved. The pressure that is exerted by the turgid cell on the walls, that is known as turgor pressure. बच्चा once all the cells will be filled with water और प्लांट के अंदर वो वाटर एक्सेस हो गया है एंड इट इज नॉट यूटिलाइजिंग विद इन द प्लांट, तो रूट्स अपने आप वाटर को एब्जॉर्ब करना छोड़ देगा. इट इज नॉट अ वेरी फास्ट प्रोसेस. एक्चुअली क्या होता है एंड व्हाट विल हैपन मैं आपको बताती हूँ. तो ये वाटर रूट के अंदर कैसे रूट प्रेशर बन रहा है, दैट यू हैव अंडरस्टूड राइट. रूट कॉन्टिन्यूसली वाटर को एब्जॉर्ब कर रहे हैं एंड वाटर इज the water molecule this has been pushed from other water molecules and they will move forward and by crossing one cell to another cell. Now अब ये root pressure actually काम कब करता है? The effect of root pressure can be observable at the night or in the early morning when the evaporation is low. अब देखो अगर continuously water absorb हो रहा है root के through and it is also continuously getting evaporated from upper part of the plant by the process of transpiration, then this root pressure will not build up in the plants. बहुत ज्यादा build नहीं हो पाएगा क्योंकि ट्रांसपिरेशन पुल से खाली होता जा रहा है, रूट एब्जॉर्ब करता रहेगा, तो एक क्राउडेड रूम वाला जो सिचुएशन है वो बन ही नहीं पाएगा, राइट. बट अगर नाइट का टाइम है या अर्ली मॉर्निंग का टाइम है, जब ट्रांसपिरेशन रेट होगा ही नहीं, बहुत कम होगा, बिकॉज सन इज नॉट देयर, तो ट्रांसपिरेशन के थ्रू वाटर लॉस हो ही नहीं रहा है. एट दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम there will be excess of water that gets collected in the cortical cells and ultimately this water it gets come out from some openings that are present on the margin of the leaves known as hydrothodes. So these hydrothodes, these are opening on the margin of some plants. आपने देखा होगा कुछ प्लांट्स के लीफ के मार्जिन पे अगर आप अर्ली मॉर्निंग में बाहर जाते हो तो प्लांट्स के लीव्स जो होते हैं उनके मार्जिन पे वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स प्रेजेंट होती हैं. वो वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स क्यों होती हैं? बिकॉज ऑफ कलेक्शन ऑफ दिस एक्सेस वाटर विद इन द प्लांट. ओके, तो अभी वाटर क्या हो गया था, बहुत ज्यादा एक्सेसिवली कलेक्ट हो गया था प्लांट के अंदर एंड एवापोरेशन था नहीं. Transpiration rate was absent because transpiration doesn't happen in the night time. So at that particular time इतना ज्यादा क्योंकि roots अपना water continuously absorb कर रही हैं, तो वो water कहाँ से निकलेगा? It comes out some special openings known as hydrothodes. So the water loss in the liquid form is known as guttation. बच्चा dew drops are different. Dew drops क्या होते हैं? Can anyone tell me? Yes, कंडेंसेशन की वजह से होते हैं वो, बट वो कंडेंसेशन इट इज हैपनिंग इन द एनवायरनमेंट आउटसाइड ऑफ द प्लांट. वो वाटर के वो प्लांट के अंदर नहीं होता है. तो ड्यू ड्रॉप्स तो एनवायरमेंटल चेंज की वजह से दे गेट डिपॉजिटेड ऑन द प्लांट्स, बट जो वाटर एक्सेस वाटर that is coming out of the plant through some openings known as hydrothodes, that is different from the dew drops. So this process is known as guttation. What is happening? Guttation mein what is happening? The excess water, it is being lost from the plants through special openings known as hydrothodes. बच्चा आपको ड्यू ड्रॉप्स में क्या होगा, ड्यू ड्रॉप्स में एंड हाइड्रोथोड्स में डिफरेंस होगा अगर आप उसको केमिकली टेस्ट कर सकते हो. अगर ड्यू ड्रॉप्स क्या होंगे, ड्यू ड्रॉप सेंटर में भी प्रेजेंट होंगे लीव्स पे, बट ये जो गटेशन के थ्रू जो वाटर लॉस होता है इट इज प्रेजेंट ओनली ऑन द मार्जिन ऑफ द लीव्स, कहीं सेंट्रल पार्ट में नहीं प्रेजेंट होगा. because these hydrathodes, they are present only on the margin of the leaves. Okay. Plus you can also test chemically. कैसे टेस्ट कर सकते हो? जो कंडेंसेशन के थ्रू वाटर होगा उसमें कुछ डस्ट पार्टिकल्स और अलग अलग चीजें मिक्स मिलेंगी, बट जो गटेशन का वाटर होता है, इट इज प्योरली वाटर, इट इज प्योर, यस, इट डजंट हैव एनी अदर मिक्स मटेरियल इन इट, कोई सॉल्ट भी प्रेजेंट नहीं होगा. ओके. प्रीवियस स्लाइड, हियर इट इज. तो बच्चा गडेशन किसके थ्रू होता है, कौन सी ओपनिंग्स इन्वॉल्व होती हैं? दीज ओपनिंग्स आर नोन एज हाइड्रोथोड्स. एंड गडेशन एंड ट्रांसपिरेशन के बीच में डिफरेंस आपसे बेसिक आइडिया के बेसिस पे, डिफरेंस के बेसिस पे क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. सो प्लीज रिमेंबर, ट्रांसपिरेशन में वाटर लॉस इज हैपनिंग, बट इट विल बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वाटर वेपर. बट गडेशन के थ्रू जो वाटर लॉस हो रहा है बच्चा, इट इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ लिक्विड. This is the very first difference between the transpirational loss of water and the gradation loss of water. So gradation के case में the water that has been lost from the plants, it is in the liquid form. But in the case of transpiration, it is in the vapor form. Okay. Now evaporation फॉर्म में अगर वाटर वेपोरेट हो रहा है, इवेपोरेट उसमें सॉल्ट मिक्स नहीं होगा, राइट? इवेपोरेट हो रहा है तो सॉल्ट वहीं प्लांट में रह जाता है, एंड द अदर वाटर, द एक्सेस वाटर, एक्चुअली इट इज बीइंग इवेपोरेटेड. बट हाइड्रोथोड्स के थ्रू जो वाटर निकलेगा, इट इज, उसके अंदर सॉल्ट मिक्स हो सकते हैं. इस केस में बच्चा सॉल्ट मिक्स हो सकते हैं. प्लीज रिमेम्बर दिस. गडेशन के केस में सॉल्ट मिक्स हो सकते हैं वाटर में, बिकॉज इट इज इन द लिक्विड फॉर्म. बट ट्रांसपिरेशन के थ्रू जो वाटर इवेपोरेट होगा, उसके अंदर बच्चा देयर विल बी नो सॉल्ट मिक्स, बिकॉज सॉल्ट पीछे प्लांट में ही रह जाएगा. द वाटर, इट इज द वाटर पार्ट दैट इज बीइंग इवेपोरेटेड. Okay. So this was about root pressure theory. Now the another theory is capillary force theory or the capillarity force. जो बच्चा स्मॉल हाइटेड प्लांट्स होंगे उसमें सिर्फ रूट प्रेशर थ्योरी भी मतलब रूट प्रेशर प्रेजेंट होगा, so वो it will be enough for the plant. Only root pressure के through the water can be conducted within the plant. But heighted plants में और भी कुछ forces चाहिए that will ultimately lead the water to the uppermost part of the plant. So the very first force, the another force is capillarity force or the capillary force theory. I'll tell you बच्चा, दक्षा मैं बताऊंगी. Let me come to that point. बच्चा गडेशन, स्ट्रॉबेरी प्लांट इज द बेस्ट एग्जांपल. स्ट्रॉबेरी में गडेशन होता है, टोमेटोज में गडेशन होता है, व्हीट प्लांट्स में भी गडेशन होता है. ओके. स्ट्रॉबेरीज एंड टोमेटोज कैन बी बेस्ट एग्जांपल. तन्मय, इंस्पिरेशनल पोल, कैपिलरी फोर्स, कैसे डिफरेंस, लेट मी टॉक अबाउट इट तो क्लियर हो जाएगा, राइट? सो लेट मी टॉक अबाउट इट फर्स्ट. तो बच्चा कैपिलरी फोर्स क्या होता है? अब देखो, रूट प्रेशर सबसे पहले जब वाटर एब्जॉर्ब होना स्टार्ट होगा फ्रॉम द रूट्स एंड इट विल स्टार्ट गेट कलेक्टेड इन द कॉर्टिकल टिश्यू, और जो थोड़ा सा प्रेशर लगेगा बिकॉज ऑफ दिस कलेक्शन ऑफ वाटर विद इन द कॉर्टिकल टिश्यू, दैट फोर्स इज नोन एज रूट प्रेशर. दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रेशर इज नोन एज रूट प्रेशर. अब जैसे ही दैट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट रूट प्रेशर द वाटर इट विल एंटर इनटू द जाइलम पॉइंट. जैसे वो जाइलम के अंदर एंटर करेगा, तो जाइलम क्या है, जाइलम के अंदर क्या प्रेजेंट है, ट्रैकीड्स एंड वेसल्स प्रेजेंट है. एंड ट्रैकीड्स और वेसल्स आर लॉन्ग elongated cells, right? So have you ever used a capillary tube in the chemistry lab? किसी ने देखा है कैपिलरी ट्यूब? ओके, कुछ लोगों ने यूज किया, कुछ ने नहीं. बच्चा कैपिलरी ट्यूब क्या होती है? इट्स अ ग्लास ट्यूब एंड इट इज वेरी नैरो. बहुत नैरो सा, बहुत पतला सा ट्यूब होता है. ओके, सो केमिस्ट्री लैब्स में मेनली प्रेजेंट होता है. कभी स्कूल्स में देखने को मिले तो जस्ट आस्क योर केमिस्ट्री फैकल्टी, वो आपको दिखाएंगे. ओके, नॉट टेस्ट ट्यूब, नॉट टेस्ट ट्यूब. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट टेस्ट ट्यूब, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट कैपिलरी ट्यूब. बहुत छोटा सा होता है, बहुत ही नैरो होता है, वेरी नैरो. यस, यूज ड्यूरिंग क्रोमैटोग्राफी. वेरी गुड. क्रोमैटोग्राफी जब हम लोग करते हैं उस टाइम पे हम लोग कैपिलरी ट्यूब यूज करते हैं. यस. ओके, सो बच्चा उस कैपिलरी ट्यूब का फंक्शन क्या होता है? वो वैक्यूम है, बहुत ही छोटा सा स्पेस प्रेजेंट है और इट इज ऑल वैक्यूम, एम्प्टी स्पेस है उसके अंदर. तो जैसे ही उस कैपिलरी ट्यूब को यू प्लेस इट अराउंड अ लिक्विड, और लिक्विड का प्रॉपर्टी है डिफ्यूजन फॉलो करेगा वो. फ्रॉम हायर कंसेंट्रेशन इट विल मूव टू लोअर कंसेंट्रेशन, राइट? तो जैसे ही उस कैपिलरी ट्यूब को हम किसी लिक्विड के पास रखते हैं, लेट्स से मैंने वाटर के पास रखा, तो वाटर विल सडनली मूव इनटू दिस कैपिलरी ट्यूब because it is going to follow the rule of diffusion. That is, it will move from higher concentration to lower concentration. So अब plant के अंदर the tracheids and vessels, these two cells are also going to form a tube-like structure or a capillary tube-like structure. तो जैसे ही रूट प्रेशर के फोर्स के बाद the water ultimately reaches to the xylem, वहां पे उनको एक कैपिलरी ट्यूब लाइक स्ट्रक्चर मिल गया. तो they will follow the rule of diffusion, and by following this rule of diffusion they will move to the upper part of the plant, that is from higher concentration, जहां नीचे अभी वो कलेक्ट हो रहे हैं जाइलम में, बिल्कुल लोअर पार्ट ऑफ जो जाइलम का होगा वहां पे वो कलेक्ट हो रहे हैं. that is known as that will be the case of higher concentration, and from that higher concentration the water will move to the upper part जहाँ पे लोअर कंसेंट्रेशन है, जहाँ एम्प्टी स्पेस है. तो आर यू एबल टू फॉलो मी एवरीवन? लेट्स से दिस इज द रूट. अभी रूट प्रेशर की वजह से यहाँ पे पहुंच गया वाटर. हियर द जाइलम इज प्रेजेंट. नाउ द वाटर हैज स्टार्टेड कलेक्टिंग हियर. तो यहाँ पे वाटर कंसेंट्रेशन इज मच मोर, राइट? तो वाटर कंसेंट्रेशन यहाँ पे ज्यादा हो गया, बट यहाँ नैरो ट्यूब्स प्रेजेंट है जहाँ पे कुछ भी प्रेजेंट नहीं है. दीज आर एम्प्टी ट्यूब्स ऑफ वेसल एंड ट्रैकीड्स. सो द वाटर विल मूव फ्रॉम हायर कंसेंट्रेशन टू लोअर कंसेंट्रेशन. So these vessel and tracheids, they will act as capillaries and it will help in the transport of water within the plant. Again, this capillary force will also enough for small heighted plant, but it will not help in the much heighted plants. तो बहुत long plants होंगे उसमें it won't help. कुछ height तक, कुछ certain height तक it will help. After that it won't help because उतना ज्यादा रूट प्रेशर का फोर्स पीछे से नहीं लग पाएगा. ओके, बच्चा वॉल्स जो होती है ना जाइलम की और ट्रैकीड्स की, दैट इज मेड अप ऑफ हाइड्रोफिलिक मटेरियल. मतलब हाइड्रोफिलिक उसे स्ट्रिक कर जाता है वाटर. वो भी मैं बताऊंगी कोहेशन एंड एडेशन में, आई विल टेल यू. Okay, so is the capillarity force, is it clear? What is capillary force? Is it clear, everyone? Now let us talk about ascent of sap. एसेंट ऑफ सैप क्या होता है बच्चा? जो प्लांट के अंदर फ्लूइड प्रेजेंट होता है, और द वाटर which is actually made up of majority of water, the fluid that is present in the plant, it is made up of water, mainly water, और कुछ प्रोटीनेशियस सब्सटेंस या फिर कुछ और उसमें मिक्स हो सकता है, हॉर्मोन्स मिक्स हो सकते हैं, अदर सब्सटेंसेस कैन बी मिक्स, बट मेजॉरिटी पार्ट विल बी वाटर. So that is known as sap. That is known as sap. Ascent of sap means movement of this water within the plant. So as you can see, बच्चा थोड़ा सा ही पार्ट बचा. लेट मी कंप्लीट दिस एसेंट ऑफ सैप, देन आई विल फ्री यू. ओके, तो एसेंट ऑफ सैप बच्चा क्या होता है? एसेंट ऑफ सैप इज अ मूवमेंट ऑफ वाटर और द फ्लूइड पार्ट विद इन द प्लांट. Sap is the fluid part. Ascent of sap means movement of this sap. Okay, so this ascent of sap, इसके बेसिस पे जो थ्योरी दी है, it was given by the movement of water or the ascent of sap. This theory is given by Dixon and Joly. It is given by Dixon and Joly during the year 1894. Now, according to them, there are three components that are involved in the ascent of sap. Ascent of sap is actually the upward movement of water within the xylem tissue. तो उन्होंने बोला three components are mainly involved. कौन कौन से components हैं? The first is cohesion, the second is adhesion, and the third is transpirational pull. Okay, so बच्चा इसको just imagine transpirational pull. What does it do? सबसे पहले transpirational pull को discuss करते हैं. When the transpiration is happening continuously within the plant, the water is actually being evaporated from the upper part of the plant. So upper region of plant mein there is a vacuum that has been formed. एक empty space बन जाएगा, right? And from the lower parts of the plant, the roots are continuously absorbing the water from the soil. So again क्या बन गया? Roots में और the lower part of the plant में higher water concentration का scene बन गया, and in the upper part of the plant there is lower concentration of water, right? So the water will start this actually the empty part that has been formed within the upper region of the plant, it acts like a pull. It creates a tension within the xylem tissue. Negative pressure बना देता है upper part में. Negative pressure means वहां पे अभी empty space है, there is nothing that is present, lower concentration है वहां पे बहुत. So it creates a tension within the xylem tissue, which ultimately create a transpirational pull. एक pull create करता है वो, to pull all the water molecules from the lower side of the plant to the upper side. So this is all this transpirational pull. Now transpirational pull में help करेंगे दो forces, cohesion and adhesion. Cohesion means there will be mutual attraction between the water molecules, and adhesion means the attraction between xylem walls and the water molecule. So what is actually happening? Let's say this is the root. अभी रूट प्रेशर के थ्रू यहाँ पर वाटर पहुंच गया है, एंड कैपिलरी फोर्स के थ्रू थोड़ा सा हाइट गेन कर लिया है, बट आगे मूव नहीं कर सकता. तो आगे मूव करने के लिए व्हाट विल हैपन, यहाँ पर ट्रांसपिरेशन पुल क्रिएट हो जाएगा, तो वाटर को पुल करेगा. Now जैसे ये water transpirational pull, it start pulling the water molecule. The very first molecule, the water molecule, it will adhere to the wall of the xylem. Let's say ये wall है xylem का, यहाँ पर water molecule सबसे पहले एक stick हो जाएगा. So this force, this mutual attractive force is known as adhesion. अब जैसे ही फर्स्ट वाटर मॉलिक्यूल यहाँ पे अटैच हुआ बच्चा, इट विल attract other water molecules, and that particular water molecule will attract other water molecule, then other water molecule will attract other water molecule. So this mutual attraction within the water molecule is known as cohesion force. So ultimately क्या होगा, एक chain like structure बन जाएगा water molecule का. Just imagine it, chain like structure बन जाएगा, और इन chain like structures को पुलिंग फोर्स एक्ट कर रहा है इन सब पे. कौन सा पुलिंग फोर्स? ट्रांसपिरेशनल पुलिंग फोर्स. बिकॉज नीचे वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स का कंसंट्रेशन बहुत ज्यादा और ऊपर कम है. तो अल्टीमेटली दिस ऑल दीज वाटर मॉलिक्यूल दैट हैज बीन स्टिक्ड विद ईच अदर, they will start moving upward and upward and upward, and ultimately reaching to the highest point of the plant. So this is what is ascent of sap, in which transpirational pull will play a main role that will create a tension within the xylem tissue. Once that tension has been created in the xylem tissue, this water molecule, the very first water molecule, it will get stick with the xylem wall, and ultimately this molecule that has been stick with the walls of the xylem, it will attract other water molecules. That force is known as cohesion. So this adhesion and cohesion force, it will ultimately act or help in the transpirational pull within the plant. Sap is the liquid part that is present in the plant, बच्चा. So xylem के अंदर जो भी liquid part present होता है, it is known as the sap. Fluid part. Okay. So this is what is ascent of sap, and how the water conduction within the plant takes place. Is it clear, everyone? See this diagram. यहाँ पे सब फोर्स दिए हैं, एंड इससे आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा व्हाट इज एक्चुअली हैपनिंग. लीफ के थ्रू वाटर लॉस हो है ड्यू टू ट्रांसपिरेशन, दैट इज गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ पुलिंग फोर्स, एंड रूट के थ्रू व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, द वाटर इज बीइंग एब्सॉर्ब. तो जैसे ये ट्रांसपिरेशनल पुल क्रिएट होगा, इट विल लीड टू ascent of sap, and ultimately the water can reach to the uppermost of the plant, uppermost part of the plant. Towards root, बच्चा क्या लग रहा है? ट्रांसपिरेशनल पुल और फोर्स. Towards root, that force is acting. See this diagram. Is it clear? Transpirational pull, it creates transpirational pull. Adhesion cohes means column of water molecule within the strands of the tracheids and vessels. The capillary action result in the rise up of the water at the base of the stem. थोड़ा सा वाटर को बस एक सर्टेन हाइट तक पहुंचा देगा. रूट प्रेशर पुशेस वाटर टू द स्टेम, एंड ऑस्मोसिस पुशेस वाटर टू द रूट है. तो सबसे पहले यहाँ से स्टार्ट होगा. द ऑस्मोसिस, इट पुशेस वाटर टू द रूट है. ऑस्मोसिस के थ्रू वाटर एब्जॉर्ब हो जाएगा रूट हेयर्स में. Then the root pressure pushes the water to stem. Then capillary action result in the rise up of the water at the base of the stem. Then adhesion and cohesion makes column of the water within water molecule within the strands of the xylem, and ultimately the transpiration creates a transpirational pull that will pull the water, and the water will reach to the uppermost part of the plant. So if I have to number, ये first है, this is the second force, यहाँ पे ये third है, this one is the fourth, and this one is the fifth one. Right? Clear everyone? All the forces, all the meaning. Previous slide. Okay, wait. Here it is, bacha. Yes, class is over. You're free to leave. Conduction of food we will study in the next lecture. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night. Take care. Previous slide, yellow. Sorry. Bye, everyone. Good night. Stay safe. Bye-bye. If you have any doubt, if any one of you have any doubt, you can ask. Last line, bacha. So ascent of sap is a constituted effect of cohesion, adhesion, and transpirational pull. Means ascent of sap means the movement of fluid within the plant. It is actually because of the effect of cohesion, adhesion, plus transpirational pull. Is it clear now, Ahan? उसमें बस इतना ही बोला कि जो भी ascent of sap हो रहा है, it is because of cohesion, adhesion, and transpirational pull mainly. Chalo then, bye bye everyone. I'll see you soon in the next class. Take care.